to growing your own food in your own backyard, and thank you for watching. This video is going to share my experience and trials and errors and lesson learned of growing a peach tree from a peach seed. 4 years ago, I purchased a box of peaches in Brighton, Colorado. To really be honest with you, I'm not quite sure what orchard the peaches came from. I made the assumption that the peaches were grown here in Colorado and they were tree ripened peaches. Hindsight, this is not a cultivar from an orchard that was grown here in Colorado. This particular peach tree starts flowering in late March, and the bud starts emerging in late April and early May. And therefore, in the past 4 years, I do not get fruits. I didn't get fruits this year or last year. And so hindsight, trial and error is I didn't know exactly the type of seed that I was planting, the type of cultivar. Was it acclimated to Colorado's weather? And because it's an early bloomer, more than likely the cultivar is from a southern region of the United States. So I probably would never be able to bear peaches from this tree unless we don't get early frost in April, which is typical in Colorado. We can have warm days and we can have warm days and rain in the day, but at night the temperatures get close to 32 degrees and we get snow. We could also have late frost through April. And as a result, the buds freeze. Now this year, in hindsight, knowing that this was an early bloomer, I really focused on monitoring the forecast, putting a frost blanket over the tree every time the temperature is going to get below 32 degrees, or if I see that it was snowing, and to no avail, the buds froze. So at this point, I have learned that if I'm going to grow a peach tree from a peach seed, make sure the cultivar comes from an orchard in Colorado and is acclimated to Colorado's climate. What do I do now? Well, I'm very proud of this tree. I have done a great job growing it. It has a great rootstock. Look at the vigor on this tree. And I prune it twice a year. Right now it's due for pruning to cut back and reduce the vigor, open up the tree in the middle, bring some sunlight in, and then also gets a second pruning in October. When this tree flowers, it is amazing. I don't know if my previous video showed the tree blooming. If you look at the link below, you'll see my previous video about the peach tree, and I think that particular video had the blooms on the trees. And so the tree is healthy, and if there was not a late frost this year, I would have had an abundant crop of peaches. So what is the solution to my problems? Cut the tree down? I don't want to do that. It takes about 3 years for peaches to start fruiting. So I've had to suffer through that time to wait for the tree to start flowering and budding. So what I've decided to do is contact the orchards here in Colorado and ask if they can send me some scion wood. And if I'm able to achieve that, then what I want to do is graft scion wood from peach trees that are successful in Colorado to this peach tree. And hopefully, through my trials and errors, I should be able to produce a tree that can bear fruits and a bountiful crop. So without further ado, I'm going to start pruning this tree. Before I start pruning my peach tree, I want to make sure that my tools are clean. Best practice is always make sure that you're cleaning your tools before you use them on different plants and shrubs. This will ensure that any transferring of diseases or fungus does not get transferred over to your plants. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go ahead and just clean the blades. I have a cotton swab with alcohol on it, and I'm just cleaning the blades real good. I'm getting in between and around it. So this will ensure that I'm not transferring any other stuff I don't want on the tree. So I'm going to open up this canopy. What I want to do is I want to open up this canopy kind of in the shape of a bowl. And so I'm going to start trimming the top part of this tree. Also, one other thing I want to point out to you is, as you can see, I have a new growth on this branch, which is the fruiting spur. If I'm successful and get peaches next year, if I don't prune this vigor back, what's going to happen is the fruit is going to weigh down the branch. So all this new fruiting spur, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it back right now. And again, keep in mind, the purpose of cutting this tree back is to reduce the vigor. That's what summer pruning does for your peach tree. It's to cut the vigor back. When you are doing your fall pruning before winter sets in, you want to increase the vigor for the next season fruiting. So I'm going to go around and start cutting back the tree and open up the top tree in order to get sunlight in and get the type of shape I want for the type of tree. I have just completed my summer pruning of my peach tree. You can see I've reduced the vigor back considerably. I opened up the top canopy. It's shaped like a semi-bowl. I reduced a lot of the fruiting spurs, and my intent is to keep this peach tree small. So this is my finished product, and next fall, when we're ready for our fall pruning, I'll be back. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.